Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio. So today I have these really old encyclopedias and I decided I was going to use them in some way in a craft. And I saw a picture somebody had done, like a bit of ephemera. They had made like what looked like a strip of tickets. And I kind of like that idea, so I thought I would turn that idea into a mini art book. So I'm cutting these down. I don't know what they end up being, 3 by 4-ish. Doesn't really matter. If you want to do this, just do it whatever size you want. I wanted them a little bit bigger so I could put some fun ephemera bits on them and yeah, play around. So I'm doing an accordion style and folding them and leaving a little bit of a section for them to glue to each other to make it a little longer. And then to get the ticket look, I'm using a circle punch and just punching the corner off of each side, and it kind of looks like a ticket, right? I think it does a little bit. And so I've done it with all of them, and now I'm going to glue them end to end so that I have a lot of pages. I think I end up with 17 or 18. Like I'd have to count them. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 18, including the covers. So I made it kind of long. And this encyclopedia, the paper is a little thick. It's a little thicker. So it makes for great pages. It's a little bit stiffer. And it's not so old yet that it's brittle. So it folds really well. And I obviously am not perfection at measuring and folding, because they don't line up exactly perfect, but they're close enough. They work. I didn't think if I folded the whole thing together and then punched the corners that I would be able to actually punch the corners, so I did them in smaller batches. So that doesn't match exactly, but it looks pretty good. So there's my accordion. So I'm just going to cut that end off so that they're all even and I don't have an extra flap. And now I'm just going to take this box and make a cover. So I'm just going to trace it, and I'll make 2 covers and get it covered with some paper. I debated whether or not to use the paper trimmer to make sure that was square. I was just hoping I was just hoping my scissor cuts are straight enough. And it seems to work. The idea was to have the cover be the exact same size as everything else, but it did end up a little bit larger, probably from the tracing and everything. So it is a little bit bigger. So you'll see when I glue them onto the front and back of my accordion that a little bit of the box shows. But we'll fix that too. So I get that on. It's a little bit big. I'm just going to go around and trim it and repunch the corners just so everything lines up. And yes, another mini art book. I think they're fun. And I was watching, her name's Rosemary, and her Asian Caboodle, and she created this sort of binding for, she was doing an accordion fold where you insert the pages into the accordion, and then she had this way of binding that side so that it didn't just like totally expand out. So in the end I do something inspired by that technique. You'll see. This is kind of a long video. I'm sorry. It was a long project. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. So you can see a little bit of the red shows. So what I'm going to do is just glue that paper on and retrim it, and then it'll be, you won't see the red anymore from the cracker box. And I have tons and tons of these encyclopedias. I'm tempted to like take them all apart and sell the pages on Etsy or something if anybody's interested. If that you think somebody would buy them. I mean, they're great for making things. I've done some Christmas cards I'll be posting later, and I've come up with like a little gift card envelope. I haven't done the video for that one yet. Just different things I can do with them to use it up. Because I don't have a complete set, or I could have given away a complete set to a bookstore or something, I don't know. Not that anybody buys encyclopedias anymore. And again, on this side, I will just add some paper to that to cover it up, and then trim it out to be normal. And then nobody will ever know that I didn't get them the right size. It'll look purposeful. Oh, and I didn't line that up quite right. Got it too close to the fold, or over the fold or something. So we'll do it that way to get it lined up right. So I'm just going to trim that out and then repunch the corners. And of course the same with that side. So there we go. That's the base. Now for some decorating. Okay, so I decided to put like a square piece in the center of each page to help with the ticket feel. So it looks like a little frame. And I have these like cleanup prints, jelly prints. It's got random paint on the backside from my nephew when he was playing around with paint. And stained them up with some walnut stain. And now I'm going to tear them into the little rectangles. And I like the tear rather than the cut. Then, if it's not perfect, it looks purposeful. And I am measuring these so I get them fairly similar. These papers were made on a jelly print session from quite a while ago. If I figure out which one it is, I'll link it down below if you're interested. You can see how I made these papers. And I'm going to go around and just ink them a little bit. And they're already stained, but this just gives them a little bit darker edge, I think. And I go through and do enough for the whole book, but I don't show you that. And I decide that the pages are too light, so I decided I want to darken all the edges. So again, I'm going around with my ink and my makeup brush. And I'm just going to stain all of those around the edges. And I'm using Archival Coffee. I think that's the only one I have. I need to invest in some other colors. And I mean other shades of brown. I think there's a few different kinds. Okay, so there I've got my book all stained up and all my pages torn, all my little squares torn, and we're just going to put them in. I suppose I could have done this where the words were of the encyclopedia were going the right direction, but that would have taken a lot more, gluing a lot more strips together. And that's not the main focus, that's just interest for the background. Alright, so I got all that done, and I've pulled out bits and pieces of things to use to fill this up. And I decided I wanted to add some fabric bits. I have a lot of fabric, strips of fabric that I got at, I think it's called Five Below. They had a rag rug for sale, and it was all like sari silks like this. And so I bought one and took it apart, rolled them into balls. So I have like 4 large plastic containers full of balls of fabric. It's very colorful. Maybe I'll insert a picture so you can see what it looks like. It's very colorful. Works for a display anyway. But I'm just taking bits and pieces. Some of these are stamps, and I've just cut them up. Stamped them out on things and then cut them up. And yeah, also these transparent stickers. I think I got those from Gina in a little package I got from her a while ago. So I don't know where she purchased them or got them originally. But they're really cool because they're pretty transparent. I don't know if they're considered vellum stickers or what, but they're fun. And the fabric, I'm not gluing down solidly. I want a little bit of the texture, so I'm not putting glue everywhere. And I figured the liquid glue would work better than like a glue stick or something. Really no coherent story, just finding ephemera bits and things that I like together and sticking them on the page. And using up my stickers. I have so many stickers. I need to use them up. It actually gets quite dimensional in the end. All the little bits and things I stick on there. And if you don't want to watch me flip-flop through deciding everything on every page, you can speed ahead a little bit and see how I create the fastener for it. I actually like the fastener idea. It's not 100% foolproof, but I really like how it works. Only show me putting together the one side, but all of those have a back. So I actually had gotten a book on fairies at a thrift store that was falling apart, and I just took it apart and took out all the fairy pictures and butterfly pictures and things like that. And so that is what I do on the back side. So at the very end, I'll flip through both the front side, the first side, this one, and then the back side, which is the fairies. I pulled that crayon out thinking I would use it, but I didn't use it. It'll have to go in another project. Instead, I have this creepy fly. I think that's what it is. It's a fly. I picked that piece of fabric because it didn't blend with the background, but it kind of blends in with the bird. The yellowish fabric probably would have been a better choice, but there it is. That bird is one I made out of painty papers. Made a whole bunch of those at one point. I'm going to have to come up with a project to use some more of that fabric. Sorry that jumped a little bit. I think my memory card was running out and I didn't realize it. I was trying to determine how many more I had left to create. Pulled out my little washi tape. Because why not? I like those just the way they are without anything else added, but, you know, I cover it up. I'm not thinking too hard about what goes on there, just trying to fill up the pages. I think about it a little bit, but not too hard. I did more glue. This one was extra curly. It wasn't going to stay. When in doubt, use a butterfly, right? Or a flower. Keep trying the crown. It's not happening. And I think I just put another flower on the back. Yep, on the back. So that is the whole front side done. Trim that. Of course, I have to look through it again. Make sure everything's staying down. Okay, so I'm gonna create the fasteners, I think. Oh, I put a little something on the front, so I know which way's front. Then I think about the fastener. I actually had created this part before I saw Rosemary's video. It was a live stream, so it was like 2 or 3 hours long. So I don't think I'll share it, but, well, I could share her channel if you're interested. If you don't know who she is, you probably all do. Okay. So I'm getting out. Decided that the awl that comes with is a little too wide. So I'm going to get some wax thread and a pokey tool And we're going to attach these little gray buttons. They were the most neutral buttons I could find in my stash. And low profile. I didn't want anything too big, and I kind of wanted the 2 holes so that I could just tie the thread on the top. So I'm going to find the middle. Mark a line. And we're going to punch a hole, and we're going to sew these on. And I was thinking that the wax thread would hold, but it's since loosened a little bit, so I did add just some glue to it later, just to make sure they don't come undone on me. And I'm trying to just stick that through, but it's not working very well. So I do eventually get something to thread that with. Yeah. I try a long time before I have the tool, I can do this. I just didn't want to stop and go looking for it, but I do eventually stop and go get it. It's actually a little loop, plastic loop. I don't know if you can see it in my hand there. It's for people with dentures and stuff, and for threading dental floss through your teeth. But it works really great for things like this. And it comes in a packet of quite a few, so if you don't use them on your teeth, you know, they last forever. I'm just going to tie it. I was thinking it would just hold because it's wax, but yeah. It didn't come undone, it just was a little loose. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and then the same thing to the back cover. And I think you get the idea, so I'm not going to make you watch me do them all. Okay, so there we have all 4 buttons tied. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some string, and I'm going to secure one. So this would be the left side, so I'm going to tie the knot on this end. Tie a knot, and hopefully it stays without glue. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap it around the front and back buttons, just back and forth. I don't have any spacer in there, so. And then this one, I'm going to tie the knot on this side. So this is the back side. You can see the little footprints, animal footprints. That is the fairy side. So I'm tying the knot on this side. And then this one is going to flip to the front and wrap around back and forth. Like that. So here we go. We're going to flip through it so you can see what it looks like. Open it up and just flip like that. There's those pages that you saw me collage. And then I'm going to wrap that around. I should have put something in there to raise that just a little bit maybe. Could probably still do something. Okay, so now's the fairy side. So it opens like this. And here's all the little fairies, different things. Well, I hope you liked that. It was kind of a long one, but I think it was a lot of fun. I hope you liked it too. If you did, leave me a thumb up or comment. And thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day.